The Golden State Warriors have a shiny new secret weapon on their hands, and his name is Trayce Jackson-Davis. The Warriors have shown a propensity to draft and develop players that were raised by pro athletes, and it's turned out for them. Both Steph Curry and Klay Thompson's fathers played in the NBA, and so did Trayce Jackson-Davis's. On top of that, his stepdad, Raymond Jackson, was a former NFL running back. This guy's been surrounded by pro athletes and was a megastar in college. So it's shocking that the Warriors were able to snag him after the Wizards drafted him with the 57th overall pick in the 2023 draft, but hindsight's always 2020. Still, when you look at prospects, not many profile quite like Trayce, so it's quite puzzling that he slipped so far in the draft. But there are a few reasons why he did fail. One story circulating is that Trayce had talked to the Warriors and knew that they wanted to give him a guaranteed contract. The prospect of getting a guaranteed 2-year deal as a second-round pick from an organization with the pedigree and track record of player development like Golden State was compelling enough for Trayce that he reportedly got his agent to deter other organizations from drafting him. However, there were also some serious question marks about how his game would translate to the NBA. Trayce is only listed at 6'9", which is short for an NBA center, and in college he strictly scored his buckets from the interior, so there wasn't any reason to believe he could play any other position. He never really had to extend his game to the outside because he was so dominant inside the key, but in the modern NBA there are very few players that earn playing time without having the ability to knock down a shot from long range. And the ones that do get on the court tend to be 7-footers that are defensive anchors like Rudy Gobert and Clint Capella. On top of that, Trayce was a senior, meaning he was significantly older than most other draft prospects. But clearly, teams were overlooking elements of Trayce's game that are truly unique. For starters, even though he's only 6'9", he was one of the most dominant rebounders and shot blockers in college, and that's thanks to his freakish vertical and wingspan combination that gives him the ability to play larger than his height. He also has an extremely high basketball IQ and instincts that allow him to read plays earlier than others, particularly big men. On top of that, he has superior mobility, which allows him to guard the perimeter and switch defensively better than most other prospects that play his position. Last but not least, he's an advanced screen setter and passer. In his senior year at Indiana, he saw his assist totals increase to 4 per game. Actually, his entire stat line at Indiana was pretty unbelievable. Almost 21 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 blocks per game. He was rewarded with the Karl Malone Award, which is given to the best power forward in the nation, and was also selected as a first-team All-American. In a lot of ways, his game resembles that of Bam Adebayo of the Miami Heat, and the Warriors are beginning to realize the advantages he brings and unleash him on the league. Recently, Draymond Green got suspended indefinitely for making another boneheaded and reckless play on the court, and his absence has opened the door for Trayce to get playing time. And in turn, the Warriors are finally playing winning basketball. Since Trayce earned a regular spot in the rotation, the Warriors have won 4 games in a row and even beat the Boston Celtics. In the game against Boston, Trayce had the best plus-minus of any player with plus 25. He scored 10 points on 5 of 7 shooting, along with 13 boards and 3 blocks. His presence has given the Warriors an interior anchor that has the mobility to fit into their scheme. One of the most impressive plays that Trayce has made came against Boston on a Jaylen Brown drive to the rim. Trayce's job was to defend Celtics center Al Horford, who's a matchup nightmare because he plays the center and can shoot the 3-ball with the best of them. Horford was set in the corner as a shooter, which forced Trayce out of the key and allowed Brown an open driving lane to the basket. It's sets like this that give Boston major advantages and makes them one of the best teams in the league. But Trayce made an incredible play that very few players in the league have the ability to make. As soon as Brown made a decisive move to the rim, Trayce jolted away from Horford and came out of nowhere to block Brown's shot. It was a moment where Trayce proved that he has the potential to be an all-NBA-type defender with the right development. But it's not just defense where Trayce is proving to be a difference maker. Listen to what head coach Steve Kerr said about what he's doing for the team on offense after the Warriors beat the Washington Wizards. Trayce is fantastic. He's controlling the glass, 15 rebounds tonight. He's a lob threat. You saw a couple of plays where he dove to the rim and guys found him. Even when he doesn't get the ball in those plays, he's pulling the defense in, opening up other people. He's really giving us a different look at that spot. He complements Kevon Looney and Dario Saric really well. That's pretty high praise from a legendary coach like Steve Kerr, and we believe this is just the beginning for Trayce Jackson-Davis. He acknowledged in an interview that he's working on his 3-point shot and that the reason he hadn't earlier is because dominating around the rim came so easy at the college level. But still, he understands his limitations and brings unique value to the game by playing a heads-up style and never trying to do too much. And Trayce's emergence has coincided with elevated play of other Warrior players. Both Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are shooting the lights out. Brandon Podziemski has been playing scary good in the starting lineup of late, and Jonathan Kuminga has recently been showing signs of improvement in areas of the game such as passing and decision-making. Most of all, the team seems to be playing more loosely and with a positive energy. It's very likely that Draymond Green's suspension has been a blessing for the team that has needed a breath of fresh air for the past couple of seasons. And the teams have been playing without Andrew Wiggins or Gary Payton II as well, two guys that played major roles during their championship run in 2021. It'll be interesting to see what the Warriors' rotations look like as their veterans become available, but the way they've been playing recently and the emergence of some of their young weapons definitely can't be overlooked. But we want to know what you guys think. Is Trayce Jackson-Davis going to remain in the Warriors lineup moving forward? And what kind of upside does he have as a player? Are the Warriors championship contenders this year? Or are we overreacting to a hot streak of a team that simply is no longer amongst the NBA powerhouses? And finally, what should the Warriors do with Draymond Green? It's likely that when Andrew Wiggins and GP2 are healthy, they'll fit right in however Steve Kerr chooses to deploy them. But Draymond's presence is a lot bigger than that, and his presence alone has a major impact on the team's chemistry and playing style. Should the Warriors welcome him back into the fold, or are they better off without him? Let us know what you think in the comments section, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more sports news and insights. Thanks for watching.